I'm going to chat to you through the 5 different looks I put together. They're obviously the sort of modus operandi behind this whole thing was to keep costs down and to make it attainable for most people, and sort of inspire people to think outside the box and look online and certainly go down the sustainable route, be it vintage or secondhand or reinventing things already in your closet. So the first look I put together is a black 1950s ribbed silk dress, which I paired with the Carol Connelly hat. Price wise, I paid €60 for that from an Instagram dealer whose handle is at london.vintage. So obviously I'm intending on getting a lot of wear out of that dress because I'm hopefully going to wear it on holidays as well as to the races. So that's the first look. Okay, I'm going to hopefully convince you that you can create something out of nothing. So here is a dress, which I don't know. I mean, some people might like, some people might not. I think the 90s probably called and they want it back. It is, from memory, I think a size 18. I'm not a size 18, but anyway. I have taken this out of my mother's wardrobe with permission. And there are a couple of things going for it. I think it's got a great pattern. It's got primary colours, which is wonderful. It's got pockets, even more wonderful. It's not really doing me any favours. Normally my sort of rule for everything is to put a belt on, so grab a belt. In this instance, I don't think even a belt can help this. So I could, vast improvement, I think. Can't really see it, but I still think it needs to be magicked into something better. So I'm going to try something. While in it, because it's size 18, plenty of room, I'm going to shimmy it around. Okay, right, shoulder pads. Already looking a little bit better, maybe back to front. I have practiced a little bit. So again, I think it needs to be waisted. I was looking at the shoulder pads and I think the neckline is still a bit high. So in the perfect world, I probably would lower the neckline a little bit. But actually, I think the shoulder pads, you either think of taking them out, which I was going to do, and then as I was trying to maneuver them out, I realised that if I kind of flick them down, I can create these sort of weird little, I think they're called raglan or something sleeves. Anyway, so suddenly, slightly looking a little bit better. And now definitely a belt. So in the perfect world, I have this amazing belt in red. It's one of the most expensive things I own. And I rarely buy new things. I really only rely on secondhand. But in this instance, I bought it new and I bought it in 2 colours. And I have it in pretty much this red, but I don't have it with me because we're in the middle of a global pandemic. So I'm going to show you that if we use this, but you've just got to imagine it's in red, and we do it nice and tight, tighter the better, and then voila, I think we're getting there. It is definitely the wrong colour. I think black it's too strong. I mean, you could do a black shoe and a black hat, but I have pulled this hat from a miller called Emily Jean, and I really want it to work because I think it mimics the sort of crazy abstract flower pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to resort to, not in this instance my trusty ribbon drawer, but my mother's, and one of the pieces of ribbon I found which I thought tonally was quite good, and we're going to drop that and we're going to use this. So you've got to try and keep the seam line, otherwise it gets a bit messy. I'm going to tie that on, tight, lovely, there we go. So I think I'm going to ask my photographer if it's looking all right. Yeah, good, okay, she might be lying. Anyway, hopefully you're kind of going, wow, that's insane, I can't believe this. Now, I will show you the back, because the back is probably going to look a bit messy and loose, but bearing in mind, I'm about an 8 and this is an 18. But I probably could get away with it. I would wear it like this. A lot of people might want to have it taken in. It would be quite an easy job to have it taken in. A little bit, not much. You can't take an 18 to an 8. You can take an 18 to a 14 maybe. Anyway, I would probably be happy with that and just make sure my photographs were all taken from here. I'm going to try and put this on without a mirror, which might be a little hard. Again, my trusty photographer, Georgina. I'm getting there.
Yeah, good stuff.
So maybe an elegant outfit conjured out of one hat from Emily Jean, one dress from my mother's cupboard, one piece of ribbon from my mother's cupboard. In fact, the sandals are from a charity shop. My father brought them for my mother. I found those as well while on my hunt. And then turn the dress around, flip your shoulder pads, and voila. Ooh. The second look is the yellow sort of floral ensemble, which was composed of my mother's dress, which I sort of reworked and reimagined. Obviously no cost, given that I appropriated it from her cupboard. I also hasten to add at this point that I mentioned it's a size 18. She's not a size 18. She'll kill me for saying that. She's not. I think she in fact bought it second hand too, so that's third hand to me. So that was free. I might have to give her a bottle of wine, but that's certainly the cheapest ensemble that you'll see. Third is the blue outfit. Actually, I acquired that from the same dealer at London.Vintage. She's one of my go-tos, and in fact this one came from her too. It's run by a wonderful woman called Sarah Horillo, who just seems to pick up these amazing pieces, and that one was £50, so about €60 as well. So again, not really going to break the bank. I hope you'll agree, especially in terms of the quality I was getting. As you can see from this vintage dress, it's probably like 1970s. It's got a French label. It has belt loops, so it originally probably had its own belt. Don't be put off by that, because to be honest, I always find that the original belts can be quite dating. So in this instance, as you will see in a minute, I sort of was trying to improvise and work around how I was going to put my ubiquitous belt on. And I managed to find a scarf of my mother's, again, she does know, again, which is this amazing sort of ombre. Really beautiful and really fine sort of cashmere blend. And I love the sort of yellow hat by FAO Millinery. And I was trying to pick out the lemony yellows and sort of almost like sorbet colours. And I sort of started off thinking maybe that, and then I thought, not really. It's just a bit sort of dense. So in the end, we took it and we twisted it. We did a plait with it. Not very hard to do it. You need almost somebody to hold on to it. But anyway, we'll do it this way. And then I ended up with this sort of colour weave. And that's how I got my belt. So as you can see, I've got these earrings on, which I live in. They're called Jiggy, and they're by a Swedish company called One St. Avenue, and I live in them. And I just thought the sort of little bit of Demonte picked out the colour fleck in the FAO millinery hat. And it comes with an ear cuff as well, which I love. And then the shoes, again, another charity shop find. Probably slightly too high for me. Other people might be able to wear them, but again, the colour would seem to be perfect. So there you go. Et voila. My fourth look was the orange shift dress, and I'm delighted to say I got that from an Irish Instagram dealer called Paula Loves Vintage. And I think I bought that with another dress, which I have actually planned on using for Francesca, but together I paid €85, including postage, so a real steal, so about €45 for that orange dress, which again, I have lots of ideas for wearing just as a cocktail dress. I think it's great fun, and in the winter I would put a black polo neck under it and knee-high boots and go quite 60s, but it would be really, really fun. And finally, you've got the blue floral on the Tommaso-y sort of backdrop, and that came from an Instagram account called @the_medley_bazaar. Again, that's an English Instagram account run by a really sweet girl who actually told me she's worn this dress dozens of times, but she's just decided she's had a baby and she just decided to move it on, and I was the lucky person to find that. I actually saw that on a story, so it's quite hard to judge a dress hanging in the breeze on a story, but it lived up and actually exceeded expectations. And that one came in, I think it was £60, so about €70. So nothing cost me more than €70, actually considerably less in some instances. And my shoes were, again, I think the most expensive pair of charity shop shoes was €12. So the expenses would have been in the hat, but as I said, there's ways around that, or as I will say and explain, there are ways around that in terms of renting and reworking.